Hey guys, AG Sports. I have a quick video today, just a couple of updates, tweaks, really just more like algorithm record stuff. I have added one line to the coaching report card here, which is the expected points. So now if it's not a team that we're highlighting, like one of those 6 or 7 teams that we've been highlighting, we can easily come look, say, hey, look, this is their expected points. Does this algorithm have them beating the spread or not? Secondly, though, I am adding another team to the Madden algorithm. I'm going to be adding the Texans. Not this week because they're playing the Patriots, so we already have them kind of in the mix. But starting next week, they'll be highlighted every week. Like I said in previous videos, these teams that are really bad, like the Texans, where there's everybody's shitting on them and they can't get a win, eventually the books are going to overinflate their line or their side of the line, so they'll start getting a lot of covers just because nobody wants to bet on them. And so we want to start following that and see kind of when that takes place and when we can get some value on that side of the ball. I know it kind of sucks trying to bet on the Texans. You got to really like close your eyes, hold your nose, turn around, say a prayer, whatever you got to do. I'm Mexican, if you guys didn't know, so I use like a little egg and some vapor rub, and I'm good. Like that's how I make those bets. Other than that, though, like I said, I know I had an email address given to me. They want this copy of the report card. I am going to get that. It's probably going to be later this afternoon. I have to just do a little bit of editing on it real quick. If anybody else wants this report card, let me know. I'll get you a copy of it as well. As far as updates and kind of storylines here, so one thing I wanted to point out is the Ravens offensive line. So it just came down that Teddy Bridgewater may be able to play this week. It looks like he's kind of progressing through the concussion protocol. Even if he does, like I said in the previous video, I still like the under for that game, and we tease it to the under 47. So whether he plays or not, I love that under. But if you're looking to play the side on that Broncos-Steelers game, I'm personally probably going to just stay away from it. But if you wanted to keep watching the Teddy Bridgewater concussion protocol. Anyways, back to the Ravens, though. As far as the Ravens are concerned, their offensive line, I mentioned it and I kind of alluded to it, that they have a lot of issues going on with that offensive line right now, and it's not really getting talked about. I don't want to leave anything out, so I'm just going to bring up a little sheet here. So Tyree Phillips, he is their left guard. He was actually their backup left guard because they had already lost their starting left guard. He's on IR. Ronnie Stanley was out last week. This week it looks like he's probably still going to be out, but it's still possible that he makes the game. But losing him is a big deal. Ronnie Stanley's a really good left tackle. He's probably one of the top 5, top 10 left tackles in the league. So if he's out, that's a big deal. Villanueva is still out, or at least he's questionable with his knee injury from last week. And Jawan James is also out. So those guys are both right tackles. If Villanueva can't go, that's an issue, mainly because Villanueva was already playing out of position, and man, just they keep losing these guys left and right. And for a team that wants to run the ball and focus on running the ball, and that they got some receivers back, so that's good news. But you still got to give Lamar some time back there, and just now you can't have him scramble every play. It can be an issue. Now Lamar can make up for some of those issues, because he is so mobile. But it's just something I would be concerned with. The Colts do have a decent defense. The line is 7. I think I've told a few of you, I like the Ravens to still win that game. But if you can, I'd probably look to tease it, not take it straight out, just because I could see the Colts being really scrappy in this one, fighting back. They got their win last week. Frank Reich, his algorithm is kicking. Like I said, he usually starts getting really good right around this time of year. He goes on a little run. So again, I think the Ravens will win that game, but I would not be surprised if they don't cover the spread just because of everything else going on. Another team that's having line issues is the 49ers. They lost Trent Williams, their left tackle. He's most likely going to be out this week. Usually that's a big enough deal as it is, but especially when you're playing the Cardinals, that's an even bigger problem. The Cardinals do have a decent pass rush, and obviously the 49ers love to run the ball. And what I saw last week, and I just watched the game, I rewatched the 49ers game from last week, even when they were down to the Seahawks by 2 touchdowns, they kept trying to run the ball, which is fine, and I think that's what they're going to do. As long as they are, within 2 touchdowns, and it's not, the fourth quarter, they're gonna keep running the ball. So if you have Trey Sermon and you're like questionable about, I don't know if I want to play him or not for fantasy, it's just, I would say if you don't have a better choice, play him, because they are going to keep giving it to him. They're gonna let him run. They're gonna keep trying to run the ball until there's just absolutely no other choice. The other issue is, obviously Trey Lance is playing. We've already kind of talked about that. He does not like to throw the ball, apparently. It seems like every chance he gets, he's tucking his head and running. If his first read isn't there, especially if his second read isn't there, he's gone. And then even when he makes these throws, if it's like a quick slant route because they're just trying to get the ball like the hell out of his hands, he obviously like fires it like he's shooting a damn rifle, and it goes right through their hands. I can see a lot of tip passes in this one. Cardinals have they do have a decent secondary. I could see them getting some takeaways, some turnovers, all that kind of stuff. So, like I said, the Cardinals were already the pick, but it's just, for me, it's just more so because of all these things. And I really do think that Sermon is going to have an opportunity, at least in the first half, to keep trying to run the ball. And so if you're looking at props or you're looking at him for fantasy, things like that, even though we're expecting them to lose the game, this is one of those rare instances, kind of a rare team where I think they're still going to give their running back the ball. Next is a Clete Blakeman update. So, like we said before, so far Clete Blakeman is 2-1 to the under. So, just kind of a streak to keep an eye on. The one game that he reffed that didn't go under was the Sunday night game. It was the Chiefs and Ravens. So, the NFL, again, if you didn't hear me before, I would not be surprised if they gave him a little nudge and say, hey, don't throw so many damn flags in this one, because it's, all eyeballs are on you. I think he's just a really strict ref, and I can see him staying under. Again, he was on bye last week, so his reffing crew didn't have a game last week. This week they will be reffing the Lions and Vikings game. That Lions-Vikings game right now, it's under 49.5. I'm not saying I'm going to just blindly play that. My numbers do say that game's going to end at like 44. So I think there is some value there anyways. But if that's something that you were looking at, a game that you were interested in, that's just kind of one more mark in favor of the under for that game. Like I said, I'm not playing it this week, and I'm definitely not going to blindly play it off of just a referee trend, but it's something to monitor, because if this is another game where not only does it go under, but we can go back and rewatch the game and say, hey, there were a few costly penalties here, then definitely it would be, once he's like 3-1, once we have a 4-game sample size for him, then it's time to, okay, let's really start looking at these unders, because it's something that he's going to give us, or he's going to at least kind of lean towards for us. Last thing I'm going to talk about here, and this is something I do need to have the little paper or notepad up here for, is the Saints. So the Saints are playing Washington this week, and one trend that I have noticed with them is that they, at least Jameis, doesn't really know how to handle a blitz. I went back, I watched some of their games. I did not watch their first game against the Packers. I need to go back and rewatch that one. But they lost to the Giants. The Giants have about a 30% blitz rate. They lost to the Panthers. The Panthers have about a 42% blitz rate. The two wins that they have were against the Patriots, who are only at about a 13% blitz rate, and the Packers, who are currently at a 28% blitz rate. But the reason I want to go back and watch that first game is I don't think they were blitzing that frequently in week 1. I could be wrong, and please correct me if you remember differently. But just going back, I don't think that they were. And unfortunately, when I looked at different numbers and different sites and all this other stuff, I don't have any way to find out what it was for just week 1. I need to actually go back and watch that game. So I'll probably give you an update on that tomorrow. Washington, if you didn't know, Washington is blitzing at a 30.3% blitz rate. That's, to me, a red flag for the Saints. If they don't know how to handle the blitz, if Jameis can't overcome that, if the line is not holding up, this could be something that we need to tail. I have not heard anybody else talking about this, so this is an angle that maybe is exclusive to us right now, which is going to give us a little bit of a play if we can verify that this is indeed a play. So if we see them come out this week, they lose to Washington, I think a lot of people are actually leaning towards the Saints because the Washington defense hasn't looked that good. But if the Saints lose to Washington and we go back and watch these games and we say, yeah, you know what, the blitz is just getting home, or Jameis is making some ugly throws when he gets pressure, which he is, but want to verify that, then when we see this again, we'll be able to jump on it and say, okay, yeah, Saints are going to struggle against this blitz, and as long as it's a competent team, we should be able to take that side. Sorry, you know what? Last thing I wanted to say here is just the Titans and Jaguars. If you haven't heard all the talk, the Jaguars just like apparently lost all respect for Urban Meyer because of the video or the pictures or whatever came out, which I don't get it. I mean, it just, you know, guys to guys here, I don't. If a friend of mine gets caught taking a picture with some college chick, like, I don't. What's the big deal? I mean, like, if he's married, you know, that sucks. But if he's just some dude, like, what the hell's? I don't know. I don't get it. Maybe it's different. Maybe I'm the dirtbag. I don't know. But for whatever reason, they're having all these meetings, and the team's like just not wanting to follow him, all this sort of stuff. So the Jaguars are looking really bad, even worse than they look on paper. And so the Titans, it's a -4 right now, and I think a lot of people are jumping on that Titans bandwagon. I currently have this game at 24-19, which, again, weird score, so it's probably more like 24-20. I'm not willing to really lay the points with the Titans. I mean, they should win and they should cover. So if you do, I'm not saying that that's a bad play or anything. But this is going to go one way or the other, because either the Jaguars are going to totally lay down for their coach and they're not going to give a damn, they're not going to do anything, and they're going to get blown out of the water, or they're going to play for their coach, or they're going to, if we get like a, hey, Urban Meyer's fired between now and Sunday, which it could happen, and they get an interim coach, they might have a little, like, you know, pep in their step, show out for the new coach. But again, because of all these variables, I'm not touching it. If you wanted to, obviously the Titans are the only side of that I would even look to. But anyways, that's the video for today, guys. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, if you want a copy of this spreadsheet, put your email in the comments below. If you already sent me your email, I apologize, I haven't sent it out yet. I will be sending it out here shortly, so just keep an eye on your inbox. But thanks again. Have a great day.